Welcome, Wrestling Warriors. You're tuned into Wrestle Watch Central, your daily dose of WWE. Hit that bell and let's get started. WWE RAW delivered a tense and emotionally charged segment that raised serious questions about the stability of Judgment Day. What began as a simple backstage regrouping quickly unraveled into a heated confrontation that exposed long-simmering frustrations within the faction. Miscommunication, ego, and unspoken resentment all bubbled to the surface in a way that felt impossible to ignore. Each member seemed to enter the conversation with their own agenda, and instead of unity, the moment highlighted cracks that may no longer be repairable. With major matches looming and championship opportunities on the line, the timing of this internal conflict could not be worse. The atmosphere felt less like a family discussion and more like a breaking point, signaling that Judgment Day may be entering its most volatile chapter yet. Roxanne Perez wasted no time asserting herself once the conversation began, placing direct blame on Raquel Rodriguez for the fallout from the previous week. Her words were sharp, calculated, and delivered with the confidence of someone who believes accountability must be addressed immediately. Roxanne's stance wasn't emotional but strategic, suggesting she sees Judgment Day's recent struggles as the result of individual decisions rather than collective failure. This approach instantly shifted the mood of the room, transforming a tense discussion into an outright confrontation. By questioning Raquel's judgment and execution, Roxanne positioned herself as a voice of reason in her own mind, but also risked alienating a powerhouse ally. Her willingness to challenge authority hinted at a growing power struggle inside the faction. Raquel Rodriguez fires back with authority and anger. Raquel Rodriguez did not respond quietly to the accusations. Instead, she exploded with raw frustration, making it clear she felt abandoned when she needed support the most. Raquel emphasized that while blame was being thrown around freely, no one stepped up when she was dealing with Nikki in the ring. Her response wasn't defensive. It was defiant. She reminded everyone that she earned her upcoming title opportunity and refuses to let internal politics distract her from that goal. Raquel's intensity revealed a competitor who feels isolated within her own faction, a dangerous mindset for a group built on loyalty. Her words carried the weight of someone ready to stand alone if necessary, even if that means distancing herself from Judgment Day entirely. Liv Morgan attempts to hold Judgment Day together. As tensions escalated, Liv Morgan stepped in as the emotional center of the group, attempting to restore balance before things spiraled further out of control. Liv framed Judgment Day as a family, emphasizing that conflict is inevitable but manageable when members work through issues together. Her tone was calm, measured, and sincere, positioning her as the peacemaker in a room full of clashing personalities. However, her efforts struggled to land as emotions were already running high. While Liv's intentions were genuine, the lack of immediate agreement exposed how fragile the faction's unity has become. Her role as mediator may soon be tested beyond its limits, especially if leadership and direction within Judgment Day remain unclear. Questions of leadership begin to surface. Midway through the confrontation, the argument shifted from specific grievances to deeper questions about structure and authority. Roxanne pressed the group for clarity, demanding to know who truly leads Judgment Day and what each member's role is moving forward. This moment was critical because it revealed that the faction may no longer be operating under a shared vision. When leadership becomes ambiguous, power struggles are inevitable. No one stepped forward with a definitive answer, and that silence spoke volumes. Without a clear hierarchy or unified strategy, Judgment Day risks becoming a collection of individual ambitions rather than a cohesive unit. WWE has subtly planted the seeds for a potential leadership battle that could reshape the faction entirely. Raquel's walkout sends a powerful message. The confrontation reached its peak when Raquel Rodriguez made the bold decision to walk out of the clubhouse entirely. This was not a moment of weakness. It was a statement. By leaving, Raquel signaled that she refuses to be pulled into internal drama while preparing for the biggest opportunity of her career. The visual of her exiting alone was striking and symbolic, suggesting separation rather than reconciliation. For fans, it raised immediate questions about whether Raquel still sees Judgment Day as an asset or a liability. Her departure added urgency to the storyline and made her upcoming title match feel even more unpredictable. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words, and Raquel's exit may echo for weeks to come. What this conflict means for Raquel's title shot. Raquel Rodriguez's championship opportunity now carries added complexity due to Judgment Day's instability. Without guaranteed support at ringside, Raquel may be forced to rely solely on her strength, experience, and mental toughness. While that could work in her favor by sharpening her focus, it also leaves her vulnerable to interference and unexpected twists. WWE often uses moments like this to test whether a superstar can truly stand on their own. If Raquel succeeds without backup, it could elevate her to a new level of credibility. However, failure could deepen the rift and solidify her separation from Judgment Day. Either outcome has long-term implications for her character and trajectory. Is Judgment Day strategically divided or truly breaking apart? One lingering question is whether this chaos is intentional storytelling or the beginning of a full-fledged faction collapse. WWE has a history of blurring the line between strategy and dysfunction, and Judgment Day may be no exception. Internal conflict can sometimes be used as a smokescreen to lure opponents into a false sense of security. On the other hand, the emotional authenticity of this segment suggested genuine fractures rather than calculated deception. Each member appeared motivated by personal goals rather than collective success. If unity cannot be restored quickly, Judgment Day risks losing its dominance on Raw. The coming weeks will reveal whether this turmoil is part of a master plan or the start of an irreversible split. The Raw locker room feels the ripple effects. Judgment Day's internal chaos doesn't exist in isolation. The Raw locker room is watching closely, and instability at the top of a powerful faction creates opportunities for rivals. Other superstars may see this as the perfect moment to strike, exploit weaknesses, or challenge authority. When a dominant group shows vulnerability, it shifts the entire balance of power on the brand. WWE often uses these moments to ignite new feuds and elevate emerging stars. Judgment Day's struggles could unintentionally reshape Raw's competitive landscape, leading to alliances, betrayals, and unexpected title challengers. What happens backstage often determines what unfolds in the ring, and this fracture may already be influencing future booking decisions. What to expect on the next WWE RAW? All signs point to major fallout on the next episode of RAW. WWE rarely introduces this level of tension without a payoff, and fans should expect confrontations, explanations, or even official decisions regarding Judgment Day's future. Will Raquel return to address the group, or will she continue walking her own path? Will leadership be clarified, or will chaos escalate further? WWE thrives on unresolved conflict, and this storyline has all the ingredients for a dramatic escalation. Whether it leads to a shocking betrayal, a surprise alliance, or a renewed sense of unity, one thing is certain: Judgment Day will not be the same after this.